Niveda, welcome back to my channel. This is obviously an Indian get ready with me. I feel like I haven't filmed one in a really long time, so I had a lot of fun filming it. I hope that you guys like watching it. I did start this get ready with me with my hair because I curled it for today, so I have some snippets of that, and then the makeup afterwards, and then outfit details after that. So if you want to see how I got this look, please just keep watching. So I'm going to start off by curling my hair using a wand, and the wand that I have is a no-name brand wand from Amazon, and I'm pretty sure this thing was like $15, so it works great. I don't use it that often just because I don't curl my hair that often, but when I do, this works perfect for me. So I'm going to start off by using a heat protectant. The one I'm using is the Tresemme Thermal Creations, and I'm pretty sure this is not vegan, or at least not cruelty-free. So please, if you guys know any vegan or cruelty-free heat protectant brands, let me know.
So I actually lost the beginning footage of me doing my hair, but this is the same thing. I do my hair a little bit differently than what you might be used to seeing. Most people pull the hair away from their face and kind of start from bottom to top. What I like to do is I like to style whatever hair is like right there, and I will actually take that and pull that away from my face and clip it upwards. And the reason I like doing this is, number one, it helps me separate like the hair strands that I have done and then what I haven't done, so nothing gets mixed together and I don't do something twice. And also, by flipping it over to the other side and clipping it there while it cools, it actually helps with the volume, and when I release it, I find that I have a little bit more volume than if I were to style it downwards.
Okay, so I have one side of my head done. Before I let it down, what I'm going to do is apply a thickening spray. So this is the Not Your Mother's Plump for Joy Thickening Hair Lifter, and I'm going to apply this to the roots before I let down the hair that's up here. Alright, so now I'm going to move on to the other side. Alright, so let's start off with face. I'm going to be using my facial oil, and I'm just going to be taking a few drops of this and applying this all over my face and just really kind of patting it in and letting it soak in. For primer, I'm going to be using the Porefessional primer from Benefit Cosmetics. Just applying this to basically the centers of my face, my T-zone, and a little bit under my eye area. I apply this on my nose area because I have blackheads for days on my nose, so a primer really helps to kind of tame it down a little bit. Next, I'm going to be color correcting with my two NYX Correcting Concealers. I'm using the orange for where I have all this darker pigmentation, which is right underneath my eyes, mainly in the inner corner. And then I go on top of it with my green concealer. Moving on to foundation, I'm using the BareSkin Serum Foundation by Bareminerals, and I am in the shade Bare Sand. You have to shake this guy up really good. And I'm just using a Sonia Kashuk buffing brush to buff out the foundation. Alright, I'm going to start off with my eyes, and first things first, I need a primer because look at these spider veins that I have like all across my eyelid. Primer works like a charm to get rid of that, so I'm using the TooFaced Shadow Insurance Eye Primer, and I'm going to apply this generously along my eyelids. I'm going to be using the TooFaced Semi-Sweet Chocolate Bar Palette, but right now I'm just going to set my primer with the coconut cream shade right there. I'm using the Real Techniques number 200 brush. This is from their Bold Metals collection. I got this from Octoly, and it's super dense. This is supposed to be a shadow brush, but even though it's really dense, it's really lightweight, so I like to use this to kind of blend everything. I'm also going to use this initially to apply my coconut cream shadow, just to apply a base on top of the eyelid. The first color going into my crease is going to be Mousse, which is this tan caramel shade right here. So this is going right into my crease, and I like to start off with my eyes open, kind of looking forward, so that I know where my crease is. So I'm depositing most of the product in the outer corner and then kind of moving it in towards the inner corner, just in the crease, and using kind of windshield wiper motions. Now I'm going in with this darker gray shade. This is called Puddin'. I'm using the pointed crease brush from Real Techniques. This is number 201. So same deal, I'm going right into the outer corner of my eye and then just dragging the product inwards. So I'm going to take the same pudding shade and apply this also to the inner corner of my eye. So I'm going to go in with the transition shade Mousse and use that to kind of blend everything together. And I'm just using circular motions. I'm using the shade Hot Fudge to add a little bit more darkness. So because I have a tiny bit of blue in my dress, I wanted to add a pop of color. So I'm going to be using the blueberry shade in this palette. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Scandinavia finishing spray and I'm going to spray the brush with this. Picking up the product is going to be a lot easier and it's going to apply a lot more pigmented also. Last but not least, I'm just going to add a pop of light into the inner corners, and this is the shade Butter Pecan. For liner, I'm just going to be doing one of my regular winged eyes. For winged eyeliner, I like to line the top part of my eyelid first and then make the wing afterwards. And then I'll just adjust the thickness as I need once my wing is finished. So I'm actually going to go in with more of the blue shadow just because I feel like it's now hidden with all the other dark shades around it. I'm going to be using the Tarte Maracuja Creaseless Concealer. This is going underneath my eyes in triangular shapes, down the bridge of my nose, a little bit on my forehead, my chin, and right below my contour line. To set my under eye concealer, I'm going to be using the Wet n Wild contouring palette. It comes in 2 different shades and I obviously got the darker one and it works perfectly for my skin tone. To apply this, I'm going to be using the Real Techniques blush brush. I got this from Octoly as well. This is super, super dense and really fluffy, so I actually use it for a lot of things. Before I move on to the rest of my face, I just want to finish up my eyes. I'm actually going to go in with the transition color I had used in my crease, which was called Mousse, and I'm going to use that underneath my lower lash line to just smoke it out. So now taking the blue shade, I'm not going to smoke out my lower lash line with this. I'm actually going to kind of pat it into the actual waterline, just so there's a little bit more blue in the eye look. For contour, I'm going to be using the Sacha Cream to Powder Foundation in the shade Perfect Copper, and I'm just going to be applying this in all the usual areas, so underneath my cheekbones, a little bit along my temples, down my jawline, and also along the sides of my nose. To set the contour in place, I'm going to be using the contour shade in the Wet n Wild palette. Do you see how big this is? This is like half the size of my face, which is really good. That's a lot of product right there, and it's pretty cheap. For blush, I'm using the shade Pampered by Tarte, and I'm just going to be applying this using that big fluffy Real Techniques brush. Before I apply my highlight, I'm just going to use the Bareminerals Mineral Veil, and using the same big fluffy brush from Real Techniques, I'm just going to apply this all over my contour and blush area, just kind of to tone it down because it's looking a little harsh. For highlight, no surprise here, I'm using Becca Champagne Pop, and I'm just going to apply this to the tops of my cheekbones, above my eyebrows, on top of my cupid's bow, and down my nose. Last but not least, for my lips, I'm using MJL Cosmetics in the shade Paso Doble. This is a really nice, creamy, bright red lipstick. I feel like the bright red is looking a little funky with the blue eyeshadow, so I'm gonna add Diva on top. This is a much darker, kind of vampy brick red. For me, getting ready in Indian clothes, my favorite part is the jewelry. I don't know why, I just think that they're so beautiful, they're so unique, and they just add to any dress that you're wearing. So this is my Indian Get Ready With Me video. I really hope that you guys liked it. Please don't forget to hit subscribe down below if you want to see more of my videos. Give this video a big thumbs up if you liked it. And I can't wait to see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.